Hello YouTube, this is Marauders here, and this is the DarkFlash DLH-21 case. So previously my PC, Ryzen 5800X and RTX 3070, I put it inside the Fractal Design Node 202 case, but the problem is that the Note 202 uses a PCI Gen 3 riser to connect the video card to the motherboard, and therefore I could be having some performance issues, and I decided against getting a Gen 4 riser. Instead, I decided to just get a different case to put it in, and so that I won't have any more problems with PCI riser, and I won't have any problems caused by using a PCI riser. So the special thing about this DarkFlash DLH-21 is the fact that this case has the motherboard sitting vertically. So if you look, you can see from the ports and from the position of the card, the motherboard is actually sitting vertically in the case, instead of like be with the ports pointed upwards instead of pointing out like this normally. This is not really normal. Okay, so the good thing about this is that the footprint is still small because the board is vertical like this, and because of that we can directly plug in the video card even though if it's a small footprint. And this is a really small case, so let me just remove this panel here, and you can see it's just a nice small compact case. So what do we have in here is that I also changed the cooler. Instead of a L9M, I'm now using a Noctua U9S, so it's a small tower cooler. I took the 9-inch 25mm fan I had on the L9M previously, and instead of attaching it directly onto the U9S, I decided to just put it at the back as an exhaust. I know this is probably not the most efficient way for the cooler, but I just wanted to help get the air out of the casing easier. And of course, there's this radiator. This grill is supposed to be for the radiator, but I'm not going with water cooling, so here I have an Arctic 120 I think this was a P12 PWM P12. Yep. Okay, so this fan is operating in intake mode, so it's sucking air inside the case. And originally I was intending to put another fan on top here, but looks like, according to the specs, another fan was supposed to be able to fit here, but the U9S heat pipes were sticking out and causing a problem, so I couldn't put my fan here. So I knew that I had a problem if I only had one extra fan inside the case, and I was looking for places looking for a way to put another fan. And what I realized was, on the side panel, there, right underneath the video card, there was a nice simple 90mm spot for that I had here right at this gap. So I thought, hey, okay, I could just put a fan in there. But the problem was there were no mounting holes on the casing, and I really didn't want to just stick the fan in with tape or something. I was afraid that it might vibrate or something. And yeah, instead of using tape, what I did finally was I just glued in some magnets onto the fan, and that works. surprisingly well because it it the grip is pretty good and it just it sticks to the case. It works. And surprisingly is that the moment I added this fan in, the temperature dropped. It's also an intake fan, and the temperature dropped by another like 5 degrees overall. So I was very pleased with adding this 9mm fan here. 90mm fan. Okay, so originally, remember that I wanted to put two 120mm fans here, one as an intake and one to exhaust out the heat from the CPU tower. But because I couldn't fit the fan inside the case, I decided to put it on the outside. And because I was too lazy to try and cut a hole in the case, nor did I have the tools to do that, I decided to just use magnets on to hold the fan right outside the case. Yes, some would say that this might not be the most efficient thing to do, but well, I'm just trying to help disperse the heat some more. So what I did was, again, I just stuck magnets to the fan and I printed a little fan shroud to cover the gaps that the magnet leaves, so there is a pretty decent seal on the fan, so no external air gets sucked in as well. I'm not too sure about the efficiency of that fan placement because I don't see temperatures changing much by putting the fan in there. Maybe the heat doesn't stay that much in the case when it does generate, but it didn't really change the idle temps inside the case itself. Okay, so that's it. This is Marauders, and this is my DarkFlash DLH-21 build.